All right, guys, we're going to be looking at the last three of our named plays. The first one we're going to look at is Gator. Gator is basically a backside screen. It's a backside screen made to look like a rollout right, just a run right with the QB, but it's actually a backside screen going back to the B back. Again, four-man front. We're going to look at it as a four-man front. Pretty simple play. We're just trying to make everything look like it's running right with the QB, just a direct QB run right. We're going to leave the backside defensive end free. X is going to run an 8, really taking that backside linebacker away from the play. The inside linebacker, the Mike linebacker, is really got coverage on B. So what we want to do is kind of put him in a position to where, so B, you're going to come across here and look like you're blocking that backside defensive end, like you're picking him up. You might even tap him a little bit if you want to, but that's what it looks like. Looks like you're pulling around to get that backside defensive end. Right guard, you're jumping out. H, you're going to kind of bump and help a little bit and then go up to defensive back again. All of it is looking like we're running right. Y, you're going to run a 9. Chase that DB off, and then QB, you're just going to be eyeballing that backside defensive end and throw it right over the top of them. Again, a pretty simple little play. If we see that we may need for X to actually go in here and run a little screen on the linebacker, you may change that to a 2, but right now we just want you to run off that the backside linebacker. So if he needs to come in, instead of doing this, come in and go directly for that middle linebacker, that Mike linebacker, we may have him do that. Offensive line is just run blocking, four-man front. Four-man front, we're going to let that backside defensive end go. Three-man front really is a little bit nicer for us as far as it goes. But in this one, you're going to be back, you're going to come up and look like you're helping block that defensive end. H, you're coming across, probably getting that linebacker, even though I've got him falling away. But that backside linebacker, because you got a defensive back on that side, that backside linebacker, I don't have you going up and getting them, but that's really going to be your aim point. So you're really not aiming for that middle linebacker, the play side right there above the guard. You're aiming for that backside linebacker. That's who you're aiming for. Again, B, this shows you lining up behind, but you really want to come up and act like you're hitting that defensive end and then get down, stay behind the line of scrimmage, just kind of go through this mess. You may go behind the line of scrimmage, you may go in front of them. It just depends on how much push we get on that defensive line. Again, quarterback, you're run right. You got the ball in your hand like you're running, then you're going to pull it out, throw that backside screen. Hopefully it'll be wide open. Next, we're going to look at Hawaii. Hawaii is an inside run play that has a little motion. Looks like a QB run left, but we're actually blocking right. Has our H-back come in motion. He does what is basically a wham call. A wham call for the receivers is you're going to be blocking a defensive lineman. It'll be a nose tackle or a D lineman. It just depends on how they line up. If they're in a four-man front, again, we're going to let that backside defensive end free. So QB, you've got to sell this handoff. This will actually be a read at one time. Maybe as we run a little bit more, it'll be a read. You'll be reading that backside defensive end, whether to keep it or to hand it off. Once we go to a read, X will probably do a different route, but right now we won't be a read. This will be just a direct handoff. We're going to hand it off, try to get that defensive end chasing us, that backside defensive end. Center is going to let his block would normally be the front side defensive lineman right there over the right guard, but he's going to let him go. The right guard and the center is going to let him go and go up second level. H and Y are going to create the hole, and then B is going to come right off of H's back. And probably going to go to the hash with this. It's probably going to go to the green grass, but So it basically looks like a river block up to the second level. So that's a 4-man front in Hawaii. Hawaii, a 3-man front. It's a little different blocking scheme. H still comes in motion, but he is going to seal that nose tackle. And instead of the right guard and the center going to second level, the center and Y are going to second level. We'll let the right guard kick that defensive end out. That's what we want to do, is create that hole. Again, there's no defensive end. We're not leaving the free defensive end here, so your read will actually be a linebacker once we get to that. Right now, we're going to just hand it off. As we get further along in practice, we may change this to a read look. Doesn't change anybody's block, just changes what the quarterback's looking at. Again, you want to make this look as much like QB run left as possible. X really on that dive is really what, X on that 0 is really what's kind of cluing them in that it might be a run left. So that's Hawaii and Gator, and then our last one is our extra point. We call it Beast. We used to call it Beast and Beast Release, but right now we want the guard going out every time. This is a RPO for the QB. We're basically running a double screen for H, is what we're basically doing, with a Georgia right coming back to get that backside in. In a 3-man front, as you see it here, you're going to, X is going to pass in front of Y. It shows them almost crossing at the same time, but X is going to pass in front of Y. You're going to look like you're crashing down, but actually what you're doing is this linebacker, this front side linebacker, you're going to try to get in his way. H is going to come right off of him, so you're really screen blocking. Y, you're doing the same thing. Both of you are doing the same thing, and then you're going to go right past that. You're going to go to the back corner of the end zone, and H is coming right off of those two screens. Works real well if they're in man. If they go to zone, then this X should be the throw. The left guard that's going out, he's just going to tie up this linebacker and this backside defensive back. He may be wide open the first time we run this, especially if they don't realize that he's eligible. But our main focus is H. We're just running a double screen, double pick play for H. That's really what it is. 3-man front. If it goes to zone, H, you're going to turn around and block. That's basically it. If he's either throwing it to you or you're running it. Beast in a 4-man front. Again, just like in a 3-man front, X's track will be a little bit less because the defensive back, this linebacker will actually be over a little bit. So this front side linebacker, I've got him coming down to the center, but he's not going to come there. Left guard's going out. Right guard's coming over. He's probably actually going to hit that defensive lineman. I've got him stopped. You're going to let that defensive end chase. Is probably what you're going to end up doing. B is going to block this defensive end. H is going to chip on him, and then again, just a double screen to the H back. That's what we're really doing, a double screen to the H back. Double pick play. While you're going to, on both of them, while you're actually going to drive upfield a little bit and then curl in, is going to give X enough time to come right over the top of you. So, very big timing play, but that's what we want. Again, QB has the option of H, X, or the left guard and running it in. And guys, that'll do it for our named plays. So you have all of the named plays that we've gone over as we get ready for the season to start. Again, these are plays, and basically the main idea here is that we want to get them to where we know them, we know how to line up in them. We're doing everything just by names. That way it makes us a little more versatile to handle a 2-man offense, a quick hurry up, especially if we see something that that we want to catch them in. Because our play calls, as we start going through them, you'll see they're kind of long, but they tell you exactly what to do. These plays you're just going to have to know. There are 12 of them, but we won't do all 12 all at once. We'll learn them, and it'll be a little easier than what you think in 12. But anyways, again, these that we've gone over are all how they're designed to be. The idea behind them, they will have to have adjustments as defenses adjust to us. Just in case y'all like to see them in 3D, I do. I don't know if y'all do or not, but 3D, a little 3D beast, again, boom. Gator against a 3-man front, again, little block, and then freeze them up. Really look and run right here, run right. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. Hopefully you're getting some information out of this, but mainly I just want to go over this because as practice starts, we'll start building. You can come back to this at any time during the season, go back over it, see the design. I hope it really helps you out.